guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel Watched by Ashley. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a like and a subscribe, and let's get into it. So today we will be reviewing the film Bullet Train. Bullet Train was one of the big releases for 2022. It was released on August 5th and directed by David Leech. The film stars Brad Pitt in the lead role, and he has a great cast supporting him. In the film, he's joined by Joey King, Andrew Koji, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, Brian Tyree Henry, Hiroyuki Sanada, and many, many more. In fact, I don't want to give too much away because some of the reveals really do make the film, and it's a lot of fun. So let's go on. The strengths of the film, I would say, again, definitely the cast, the plot, the stunts in the film, and the choreography. Cinematography. This film is not necessarily for everyone. What I would say is that if you enjoy heist films or action films with samurais and a lot of fighting, then you'll enjoy this film. If you're looking for a movie that has a big philosophical change in the lead character, you're not going to find that here. It doesn't have that kind of a story arc. What I will say is it's very funny, very comedic in terms of the performances given by Brad Pitt and the cast. And it's just a lot of fun. I think if people want fun movies, this is it. This isn't a serious message, a movie with a serious message or something to make you go home and think about your life. That's not it. It's just 2 hours of nonstop fun. So the plot, high level, is Brad Pitt, lead role, playing Ladybug. Ladybug is an assassin who's trying to change his ways. He has been given the assignment to retrieve a suitcase, and he is really trying to abstain from violence. He doesn't even carry a gun with him because he feels like he has terrible luck, and by acting in violence, it just feeds into it. So he's trying really hard to find a different path, which is very ironic because if you're an assassin, how do you avoid violence, right? So that's one of the very funny aspects of the film, is it just shows in a very clever way that his luck isn't as bad as he thinks it is. And so as we progress, we're just seeing more and more scenes of Brad Pitt trying not to lose his cool. And he's normally a very chill guy, especially when you see him in interviews, but his character seems even more chill than he is, or is trying to be even more chill. So it's very entertaining to see if he's going to crack. Another aspect of the plot and the actors that's really great is the chemistry between Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Brian Tyree Henry. So they play Lemon and Tangerine, and they're a pair of assassins that work together on a regular basis, but they fight like an old couple. And they really grow on you as the film goes on. They're definitely breakthrough in terms of the film. And I love the throwback to Thomas the Tank Engine. I think if you're a millennial who grew up watching that show, it's going to bring back a lot of fond memories. So those are some aspects I really enjoyed. Another thing that I would say about the film is that David Leech, especially with all of his experience, not only as a stuntman himself, but directing action films like Deadpool 2, co-directing John Wick, the first film, serving as executive producer for the other films, working on Hobbs and Shaw, doing Atomic Blonde. Like, he is, I think, really defining himself in the action genre. And you can see by the camera work and the stunt work that he really paid attention and gave us some shots. Like, I really think that he showcases the stunts that were done in the film. And his stunt team definitely deserves credit. The stunts are seamless, they're very well done. It's very refreshing, I would say, because it's not like when you're watching a Marvel film where you have to have 20 different splices and cuts of the scene just to get an action sequence done. This is not that way at all. And it's just, if you're an action fan, you'll appreciate this movie for sure. Another aspect of the film that is quite enjoyable is the cinematography. The way some of the scenes are shot is just it's surprising because it's not like a regular action film where they just gloss over it, or it's not something that a lot of thought is given into. There's some scenes that are very colorful, very vibrant, very enticing, right? Especially the montage with the wolf. I really enjoyed that. I thought it was really well done. And one thing about the film is that there's so many different styles in it. Like, it's one whole film for sure, and it doesn't feel disorganized, but there's different styles even within the film, and that was something that I really enjoyed. And what I'll say is that in terms of framing the shots, there's two shots in particular that really stood out to me that I really enjoyed and I think are very easy to overlook. And one of them is when the elder, played by Hiroyuki Sanada, is just unsheathing his sword, and the way that the camera follows that movement, I thought it was so great. And there's another scene with the White Death, when he's rolling his revolver on his shoulder, getting ready to do Russian roulette. Just the way the camera follows, again, that's just really well done, and I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really beautifully done. Anyways, I digress. So I know that some people have criticized the film and said that it feels very Tarantino-esque. And I would say that imitation is the best form of flattery. They're not wrong in that sense that there are some similarities. So call back to Pulp Fiction and the fact that it's not told in a linear story or very over-stylized, but I think it's different enough that David Leech deserves his credit. You know, I think that he did an amazing job in terms of the fact that he utilized his cast perfectly in the way that they executed their roles, and him and the screenwriter adapted a Japanese story and made it very comedic, very entertaining, and something marketable that I think a lot of people could enjoy, right? Especially if you're a fan of action movies, this is a great film for you. In terms of those similarities in style, I'd say it felt like a movie written by Guy Ritchie and directed by Tarantino, who's forced to go digital. And when you think of Tarantino retiring and hanging it up, I think that it's great to see that the action genre or the style of storytelling isn't just going to disappear, because there's definitely a demand and there's fans who want that. And David Leech I hope he keeps making films the way he does. But let me know in the comments below, do you think it was unfairly ripped off of something that Tarantino would do? Share with me your opinion. Another criticism of the film is that it is unfairly casted with Brad Pitt in the lead role. Some people felt that a Japanese actor should have been in that role. And I don't agree with that. I would say that you need some more perspective if that's your opinion, because it's an American movie. It's not a Japanese production. I know that the IP was based on a book from a Japanese author, Marie Beadle's the book. And the studio had the option to completely change the location of the film to justify the fact that they didn't have a Japanese actor. But they wanted to stay more true to the book, right? So where the conflict comes is they wanted to make sure they had a cast and an actor in the lead role that would get bums in the chairs. Brad Pitt is such a big actor, he has such a great following that by default you're expected to get at least $100 million, right, of people watching the film. And it's not to say he's not a great actor, it's just to make sure that they can ensure that they're going to get their return. They invested over $90 million into this movie. I don't even know what the marketing budget was, but if you're going to put that kind of money in, you want to make sure you're going to get your return. And if they put a Japanese actor in the lead role, would the studio have been able to make that profit back? Probably not, right? Like, to their credit, they did cast one of the bigger actors in Japan, Hiroyuki Sanada. Like, he's one of the Japanese actors who has a lot of international appeal, but even with him, I don't think he would have been able to carry the movie on his own. So with that criticism, I would say if you want to have more Japanese written projects to come forward on an international platform, I don't think that we can always accuse the studios of whitewashing. I think they're trying to balance being able to make their money back and sharing these great stories. Also, I would say to the credit of this production, it's a very diverse cast and a very strong cast. There isn't one actor that you feel was forced into the role or like just used for a diversity mechanism. Like, no, everyone who's in the role fits it really well, and I feel like it's pretty balanced, especially for a Hollywood movie. So I don't think that's a fair criticism, and I think Brad Pitt did a great job. But again, let me know in the comments who you would cast instead of Brad Pitt in the lead role. If I was to give the film a score, I would likely rate it a B+. As you can tell, I really did enjoy the film. I love action movies, and I was entertained from beginning to end. But what I'll say is that the ending actually does feel like it kind of goes off the rails a little bit. It becomes hyper unrealistic, and it kind of takes away from a lot of the goodwill that the movie built up. The other thing that I would say is why I would give it a B plus and not an A minus or something is that the film I feel could have used Andrew Koji a bit better. I mean, if you've seen any of the work he's done before in Warrior, he definitely can do stunt work. So I feel like there might be an extended cut out there somewhere where he has more action on the train, and we just didn't get to see that in this film, which is unfortunate. But like I said, overall, great film, very entertaining. If you like action movies, I think you'll definitely enjoy it. If after watching the movie you want to continue with some more assassins in Japan, what I would recommend maybe watching is Hit Monkey on Disney Plus. When there was the reveal of Carver, it immediately made me think of the characters in Hit Monkey. So let me know in the comments below if you've seen Hit Monkey and if you liked it and what your thoughts are. But that's all I have for you today. So thanks so much for your time if you watched the video up to this point, and I will see you next time. Take care.